Okay, now this seems like a pretty innocent question. Heck, you might be going out with friends or some neighbors or acquaintances. They might say, "Oh, are you married?" That's not a big deal. But in the job world, it's could be a little bit more big deal. What does that have to do with the job? If you're married, are you going to do the job better than if you're not married? That's a question to ask, and that's why we don't like to ask these type of questions if you're on this side of the desk, because it once again opens up for discrimination. Am I going to be more likely to hire the person who's married or the person who's not married? Old days, it was like you like to hire married people because they were stable, right? They might have a family, might have a house. They're not going to leave you for another job. So there might be a preference for married people, kind of discriminatory. Or maybe it's the type of position where you might need to travel a lot or whatever. And they're like, "Oh, I'm not going to hire you because you're married. That might not be good for your family." Well, they don't know what's good for your family or your situation or what you want to do. That shouldn't have any bearing on it. It's, can you do the job? Are you willing to do the job? So asking, "Are you married?" is not a really good, question from the interviewer standpoint, but it's very common, especially in the small talk one. With that question, if it's okay to say like "I am" or "I'm not married" or anything like that without getting into detail. Just saying, "Oh yeah, I am," or "No, I'm not." You can do it that way. That's perfectly fine. And most folks, it's just small talk, especially early on when you're getting situated, and it's just that. If it's something more than that, you can say, "Oh yeah, I am," but or "No, I'm not," but that's where I'm at. Or just if it's really kind of concerning, you just say, "Well, yeah, I don't see how it works with the job, so I'm not really concerned about it either way, whether I'm married or not." It doesn't really matter to the job. Or you could even turn around on them and say, "Yes, I'm married. Does that impact the job in any way?" Or "No, I'm not married. Would that impact my ability to get the job in any way?" By saying that, it kind of puts them on the spot. They're like, "Oh, I'm not even sure why I asked this question." Or they might even divulge to you that they're trying to think maybe the nice thought, but it's really wrong. Like, "Well, I tend to like to hire people who are not married because the job involves a lot of travel, and I know how hard that can be on family members." Like, "Oh my gosh." Well, then you can hit that kind of, stigmatism, I guess, head on and say, "Yeah, I'm not married, or I am married, but it won't affect me because here's how we do it in my life," or "It doesn't, this is what I'm willing to do." So with that whole question, you can see it's a little dance around it. It's kind of the whole, "Yeah, I'm married," or "No, I'm not married." Leave it short at that, or don't answer at all. Say, "Yeah, I'm not sure how it really relates to the job," or saying, "You know what? It doesn't really matter if I'm married or not married. Either way, I can do this particular job, and I think I can do it well, and would really like to talk about that." That last way is usually the best way if you're not comfortable sharing your marital status.